Welcome to the Burning Pallets Podcast, sponsored by Texsource. Here's your host, Brian Boland.
But yeah, welcome to another podcast with us.
It's Friday.
Friday. We always shoot these on Fridays. A little bit easier because I think we're a little more outgoing on Fridays. It's getting ready to go home. Beer 30, margarita 45. I don't know.
Yeah, and this has been the first, it's kind of warm, the hottest day that we've had up here. So,
And it's finally maybe not going to rain this weekend. Every weekend we go into it ready to have fun, do what we got to do, hang out with families. It always rains on the weekend, and through the week it's perfect weather. This weekend looks like it's going to be finally a nice weekend.
Yeah, and you can thank me for that because I pretended that I wasn't going to try to wash the car.
Oh, there you go.
Because every time I get ready and I get the bucket out there and this fancy stuff, then it's going to rain. So
For you guys who don't know, Mike actually moved from South Carolina finally to where Texsource is based. So how's that going?
It's going good. My wife told me today she finally ventured out. I was afraid that she was agoraphobic because she's been doing, like when you move into a new place, like we're doing everything from scratch, like setting up and you're buying, all kinds of Amazon crap. And
never fails to always buy new crap. I don't know why.
Yeah, it just happens, I guess. You have a new vision for what your kitchen should look like. Everything's got to be red now, all the appliances. But this is very laid back up here. I think, what's Kings Mountain have, like 12,000 people in Kings Mountain?
I have no clue.
So that's the last census that I looked at, as I'm a census buff. But anyway, so it's very laid back, but there's some things that come with that up here. There's not a lot of restaurants, so you have to just venture on to Shelby, which is sort of like the big city from here. Or if you want to go like big time, then you'll go to Gastonia. And that's like the trip where everybody dresses up and like, we're going to Gastonia.
You sit in traffic in Gastonia. It sucks up there.
Yeah, because Charlotte's the next big city. So, yeah, this does have its perks. I wonder what this casino is going to bring, though, in the future, if it's going to bring some, bad stuff to us.
Well, I don't know. Charlotte or North Carolina just signed into law where you can gamble, or sports betting is legal in North Carolina now. So, it's going to be one step next to where gambling might be legal. But I do know they just announced in North Carolina this past week that sports betting is legal.
Yeah, and they were doing that at the casino. I think they built a whole new little wing over there where people
over here.
Yeah, and so I think it was legal for them because they had a legal casino. But now I guess we can just call our bookie up, and it's going to be all good.
I suck at gambling. I know better than to not gamble. So that's one thing. Last podcast, I divulged that I'm good at certain things.
Yeah.
This one, I will say that I suck at gambling, and I love it, but I always lose, so I won't do it. Yeah.
Well, on the gambling thing, my thing is like you take an amount that you just say I'm going to lose, and then
it doesn't matter. You always gamble more.
Well, I'm after years of dabbling or whatever. What I do is if I just put a percentage in my head, if I take $100 in there, if I'm at any time up to 200, then I walk. And so that's been a good strategy, for me. But you can't make a living gambling unless you're like a professional poker player or anything. But yeah, this is actually it's a good place to live as far as where you're at and what you can access if necessary.
You slow down a little.
And the outdoors, you've got boating, hiking in the mountains. I've been dodging lots of snakes lately. So the snakes are everywhere. Yeah. It's incredible how many of these danger noodles that I run into on a daily basis. But
I do know we're starting I wanted to start something with the podcast. Every time you say something like that, that people have never heard before, a danger noodle.
Danger noodle, yeah.
I wanted to make a list.
Alan, have you heard of the danger? So, so yeah, yeah, it's funny you say that because where I worked at years ago, there was a coworker who had a list, and every time I said one of my colorful things, I guess it's what I'm known for, or a silly pun, then he would write it down, and he literally had a title to it. It was like, "What would Mike say?"
Yeah.
And so he would have all of these, all these things. But yeah, that's
It's a new one.
it's just part of me.
It's another one. Anyways, so back to the screen printing side of all this.
Yeah.
I actually followed one of our videos, which we do our own videos, but I don't always watch them. But I
Yeah.
actually followed Jeff Board, one of our salesmen, his video on how to repair a spot gun.
Yeah.
We had a customer come back in and send it to us, and he refused to send it to manufacturer where it's supposed to go. But we told him to send it in, and I followed Jeff's video. It's my first spot gun repairing, which most people, I would assume, think those things are crap anyways, and they're just going to send it off.
Yeah.
I don't know how many you've tried to repair before.
I never tried to repair
And
them
you've been here
because-
forever.
Well, in my whole career, when Jeff did that day, I was completely amazed.
It was
it was amazing.
I've been here forever. You've been in industry forever.
Forever.
So I followed the video. I was like, hey, I'm going to try this. I followed our Texsource video. I followed Jeff's rules and what he told me to do. Took it apart. Took the nose off, and then
There's like a little screw seated in there.
There was a set screw in there.
Yeah.
Took it out, pulled out the whole chamber, and you could see where the spring was compressed. Like you said in the video, what's wrong with these things is when the spot gun just sits there and hums,
It's
like
stuck.
silently, the spring is stuck.
It's like the piston being stuck in an engine block.
And then literally pulled it out, the spring was stuck. So the only thing I had to do was pull the piston out, or whatever he called it,
Yeah.
on the video, put some oil on it, put it back in, put everything back together. It worked perfectly.
Yeah. It's like brand new.
It was simple.
And I think he worked for the company that made the chemical, the spray chemical. And so that was a company that, like, if you bought a 55-gallon barrel, they would give you one of these guns. And so just the mother of necessity, he learned how to fix them.
And everybody has, any major or any screen printing shop has a spot gun.
We had like 10 of them, and like 8 of them were dead that were just sitting in boxes, because like you drop them and you'll break the bottle off, and you hoard them for spare parts.
Even the spare parts, you don't have to really have spare parts.
I know. The little spring.
To the printers out there, you can repair a spot gun. It was super simple.
Yeah.
It was very easy. And I didn't use any spare parts. They all stayed in that little baggie. I did exactly what the video said, pulled the spring apart, put some oil on the piston, put it back together. Now, I wasn't like in 10 minutes, in 5 minutes. It was about a 10-minute whole thing because it's my first time doing it. But now that I know, I could do this thing in probably 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Fix the spot gun and keep moving.
Yeah, it was one of those things where everybody knows those things die, but everybody has to have a gun. So it dies, and you buy another one.
Well, like he said on the video, they die because that piston really gets stuck whatever, and
Like
the spring gets stuck
in the down position or whatever.
and the spring gets stuck in the down position. All you got to do is take it out, lubricate it, stretch the spring back out, and it's working again.
Yeah. Yeah, that was that was a good day. That's when I think we had a class going on.
Yeah,
and
you could hear people in the background of the video.
Yeah. That was poorly planned out how we did that video, but
You could hear Robin.
yeah.
But just saying, the videos we're putting out there, good, always informational, which everybody knows. But I followed one of our own Texsource videos, and it, like most of them, it panned out really well.
Yeah, and what I find myself doing a lot is when I'm on the social media things at night, and because a lot of people are going to give us these questions on Facebook, sometimes Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, they'll ask a question, and I'm sitting there trying to write a paragraph out, and I'm thinking like, crap, I'm just going to give them a link to the video. And when you go back and look in the catalog, of all of the videos that have been done over the last few years, there's a plethora of information in there. So now I'm just saying, like, here's the video, and people, love that because then they can watch it at their own pace.
You just put something on our TikTok, the beacon or whatever the crap is called, the discharge kit, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
someone called in today and they ordered the discharge kit.
Because of my answer, right?
I don't know what it was pesos, but someone from Charlotte came here and picked up the whole plastic charge kit.
Yes. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. And I should be a salesman in this whole thing. No, but no,
You couldn't. You would be at one shop for all day. So we need you got to visit. you have to visit at least 10 shops a day.
I was talking to a guy, and if he sees this, hey, Mike from South Dakota, he's up in the Black Hills of South Dakota, and this was. I'm not lying to you. I'll show you the text after. This was at 1 a.m. last night because I finally said, "Oh shit, I got to get off of it." So this guy starts talking to me, but same thing I'm talking about, where somebody just posted a question in Spring Printers Guru. He's printing these. He needs sort of that, the gloves that have the little rubber knobbies on. So
like the actual cotton glove with the rubber knobs.
Yeah. So he asked, like, well, what is that, or what can I get into? So I told him, look, you can do the silicone thing. If you want, you're going to have to stack it up.
So to explain the video, you're talking about like those, like the hospital socks where it's got the nice,
yes.
But you're talking about gloves.
Yeah. And back in the 80s, they actually had an ink called Glove Dot that was just this. So I told him you can go that or like an HD gel route where you might just color the gel. I said there's a couple of ways approaching. And then the guy said, like, hey, can you PM me? And I was like, okay. So we just started talking back and forth. So we didn't have some big chain on Facebook. So now this guy's like, hey, we're like a $8 million shop, 6 autos, does all this. He's like, can I fly down and see you guys? Because he's tired of the ink systems that he's using, the cheap ink. And now that he's getting this bigger work, he needs an ink system. So definitely going to show him, like, it's the M3, right? The Rutland M3. Because the shop of his site, you're going to want to mix your own inks and not rely on, oddball stuff and trying to do it. So, that's the epitome of taking care of people that become our customers. Because, I'm just out there answering questions. A lot of people you don't hear from. But if you know me, on Screen Printer Mike, I'm answering questions whether it's something we sell or not. But that catalog of videos we have, I'm using it as a shortcut now instead of like typing out, a paragraph on.
So you were mentioning about that guy. Is he actually going to come this way, or is he?
Yeah, he said he wants to plan a trip. We're going to do a Zoom call next week, and then. So I can explain more to him about, like, our product line and that kind of stuff. And I think he's looking excited. And maybe they're just not getting good service way up there in South Dakota. I mean, it's up there if you've ever been in that beautiful part of the country. You've got the Mount Rushmore and the Black Hills and
that way.
Yeah. So,
but you're talking about that size of shop. I mean, they should. Those types of shops, the big shops, should be mixing their own ink. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Because it's
and they need a company that's going to give them that extra attention, because of their needs and their volume, so
especially if you're putting those dot gloves. I mean,
this is an oddball thing, but he does a lot of contract work for like Fanatics and that kind of stuff. So, and here's what I'm going to do. He's going to call. I'm going to ask him, okay, what's your equipment? If he tells me that he is still producing films on an inkjet, like smaller shops, I'm going to be like, dude, laser system, or, we're in the end.
But it's good. But it's good that Texsource has all those things to offer. I mean, small shop that we cater to these the massive shops. So we have everything that we can cover for them. So
Yeah, and I know we spend a lot of time on the education side, but in the end,
It's a lot.
yeah,
It is a never ending.
yeah, we're
Edu-
always researching
Yeah.
products. Like right now, Brian knows I'm in the middle of trying to get a decent rip for the Macintosh to, rip your film.
What is a Macintosh?
The Apple, the Apple
I know
Mac.
what it is. I'm just saying, you can't say Macintosh. You gotta say Mac.
Okay, well, all right. I'm a Mac guy. I'm not a Macintosh guy.
I was a Mac guy until our board operator Alan over there made me switch to Windows.
Well,
Now I'm a Windows guy. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, there were solutions. He just wasn't willing to go to the.
You knew
extra.
my reason why I wanted a touchscreen, and that Mac didn't have that.
So you have a touch screen in your office right now?
Well, I don't use.
You don't see. So you're on a PC, but you don't have a damn touch screen. There. Look, friends don't let friends do Windows. I mean, that's I don't do Windows, and that's
I'm too far down the hole to switch back to Mac, so it's
no, you're not. You have an iPhone. You might have an iPad in your family, and all of those work together seamlessly. So, but what I was saying is over half of the screen printers out there have a Macintosh, and at least in their art department. But the problem is a lot of the rips, even the one we currently sell right now, you have to put a PC between your Mac and the printer to rip halftones and do the postscript thing. So working with this this company in Germany on this rip, it's looking really good. I've got to dial it in and make sure it's perfect, but look for that product, sometime soon this summer, and Mac people will rejoice.
I've been waiting. I mean, what you've been working on it for 6 months?
No, I'm literally. I know exactly how long I've been working on it because I got a 30-day free trial, and it ends on the 30th. So it hasn't been as long as you think. But it's, so we invested in buying a printer up here so that we just can say like, oh, here, buy this.
Well, it's also because you teach a lot of classes and you do a lot of artwork and you do a lot of training. So we had to get something for this classroom for your Mac. So that's how this whole problem arose. You're a Mac guy, you're a Macintosh, whatever.
Yeah.
And we let you piece it all together, what you needed to flow right. So now we're down this road, which is good, because you are right. There's a ton of Mac users in this industry. Yeah.
The only thing that I'm going to regret about this whole thing is when we start selling this and people call and say like, hey, I bought your package. What are you on, a Mac? Oh, I got the guy. He's right up here.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be the what would you call it? The guy that fixes your problem. When people have problems, support desk. When customers call in with problems, we toss them around like a hot potato. Like if you don't know like that particular thing until it lands into the right lap of the person that's going to, answer.
Well, especially when it gets to more of a technical question.
Yeah.
It really goes past our customer service to salesmen or me or you.
Yeah.
But we do pretty good with all of it. But go in the right direction on the new Mac.
Yeah. So
RIP software.
Yeah. So we have that going on. We're bringing in new products and machinery, and then just today, when I came up front, I saw the flyer for this deal where you get like a free dryer.
Well, hopefully people. I mean,
a free dryer.
I mean, this is just for podcast purposes. I mean, it's not going to reach anybody that's going to make it in time. It's a special we're offering. We're 2023. We're in the middle of June. It's a July 4th special, and we're offering buy any auto 6 color or 8 color Freedom Cutlass Saber, get a free rolling flashback. Now you still have to pay for crating and insulation, but you're getting a free $6,000 flash, true legit free Here's
Now,
a flash unit.
is this the one that just rides over the head and
Yeah,
then comes back? Shuttles in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you don't actually lose a head in your auto. So a true
Yeah.
6-color auto is a true 6-color with this rolling flashback. And then if you get to a 10-color, 12-color Sabre, you get a free $9,000 dryer. So I mean, it's a true legit.
Yeah.
But
how long's this going to last? Because I
till-
didn't read the.
till July 7th.
I didn't read the. Oh well.
But if
I'm going to publish this like right away.
yes,
so.
it lasts till July 7th. But I mean, we'll be lenient if someone comes in July 20th and like, oh my God, I need it.
Yeah.
We'll do it, but we will have a hard stop at some point.
Yeah.
But this is one of our first times doing this kind of extreme special. We've always done deals, and any deal we do with autos, we work with the customer and that sort of thing. But this is actually a first true published deal that is pretty significant.
Yeah. And what's the expectation or the climate now? If I just said like, Ryan, I need this 8-color auto and here's the cash. When am I going to get that? What kind of lead times are we looking at on these things?
Well, 8-color auto, 60 grand. I'm putting the cash in my pocket and I'm running. So you'll never get it. I'm out.
We'll close up shop.
And that's a loaded question. It all depends. I mean, they have 6-color, 8-station Freedom Express machines
Yeah.
in stock, ready to go now. That could ship if someone.
They do.
Yes.
That's almost unheard of, right?
Yeah, but they don't have the flash units ready. So there's drawbacks.
Yeah.
A lot of like with Bastex, everybody else. I mean, the main drawback is dryers. A lot of the times that slows you down from getting your full package. Now you asked about the 8-color. Yeah, that's going to have a lead time. 10 colors, 12 colors are going to have lead times, probably 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
and I remember at one point, the M&Rs were 9, 10, 11, 12 months out,
Yeah.
and even longer because of the whole electronics thing during the pandemic. And I think the best time to buy an auto is, in time to get it for the rush. What happens is people get busy and they're like, you know what, we got to have an auto, and then they go and buy one, and by the time they get it in, it's they're not that their rush is over, but you should have ordered it knowing that we got a trajectory of things get busy, and at least I can see on the internet that people are getting busy. Things are ramping up.
And you also got being a printer, you would start printing now for back to school stuff, and you could prep and do that kind of thing.
And there's a lot of sports stuff going on.
Tons of sports always.
During the summer. And it's just the way you market your business. If you put all your eggs in one basket, you're not going to get, year-round business. You sort of plan for that.
Yeah. I was going to go off topic on that one, but it was more about water. So
Water?
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about water.
We were talking about sports, and we got this water machine. You were even talking about the water.
I need one of those machines, but I'm going to have to sell a kidney to buy one.
Well, speaking of sports, a lot of these NFL teams, MLB teams have this Kangen water machine, which Billy, the guy who was here that you talked to, the pharmacist, he's got you sold on it. But it's
I don't have it yet. I don't have the money. He's got me thinking that this would be nice. Yeah. I need to get some of that water and bring it home so I can.
You can go to his pharmacy and people take jugs. He told you that?
Yeah. I just feel like that's kind of weird. Like, hey, I don't want anything. I'm just gonna take some of your water.
Anyways, it's a good machine. So sidebar.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, water, especially for my wife. My wife, everything is 90% of what she intakes is water. Drinking wise, and so I mean, and we live in Kings Mountain. I don't know if there's some like nuclear waste in the water table here or some weird, stuff, rolling off the mountain. Who knows?
Like the Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly.
Springfield, where you get the.
Yeah, I haven't tested the water here, but to see if I'm got enough tolerance to take it.
But back on the special, it lasts. I mean, we'll honor it for a little while. It's a good special, so we'll see how it turns out. I mean, anyone who is interested in an auto would jump on that deal in a second. So
Yeah, and I know a lot of people have to make that decision. When does a manual shop jump to an auto? And the best way to jump to an auto over the years I've seen is take on auto size work, but farm it out to someone you trust. And then your customers and your sales will get used to saying, oh, yeah, we can do that 2,000 piece order.
you're saying stay manual, print what, 100, 500 piece orders, and then
Yeah.
farm out the big 2,000 pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. I had mentioned this before. We had some newbies in the class a while back, like 2 or 3 classes ago. And the kid, this kid wasn't even printing films yet. And he's like, yeah, I got these 2,000 pieces. And the other new guy's like, farm it to to another shop. And it's interesting what I've seen that people that get into screen printing is that they already have the demand and they're getting it done somewhere else. And then they decide, I'm just going to bring this in house. It makes sense for me to. That is the best recipe for any business. If you already have the demand, that's good. If you start from scratch with a dream, that's a tougher road to hoe. But I've noticed a lot of the people taking the classes. We had that guy that owns that outdoor place. He was the same thing. He's getting the stuff done and thought, you know what? I can do this. I can buy a shop and handle what I need, and it makes sense. But we told the kid, like, dude, yeah, you're a newbie. You've pulled the squeegee and printed 3 T-shirts here. You shouldn't be doing a 2,000 piece order.
Yeah.
But if you can build the demand, then you can justify a return on investment. And that's what all of this is. When you buy an auto, all your work that's 3 dozen and above, you're going to throw on that auto in the future. Your manual machine's going to collect dust unless you're doing pockets or neck labels. But you're going to be able to depreciate it on your taxes, on a,
Boom.
4 or 5 year schedule, or take it all at once, like some people, like, how much will I get back? Yeah, just wipe the whole thing up and then they're all sad next year. But if you want to prove that return on investment, and if you can do that, then, it's time to buy an auto, period.
So don't be afraid to take the leap if you have the business coming in and it's proven that you can
Yeah.
get it done. Don't be afraid to take the next step to better yourself in your shop.
Yeah, and you start by taking on jobs that you're not going to print in-house and form a partnership with a contract house or someone that you can trust.
So
And then you build that trust up.
So you're going to say that part again.
Yeah.
You're currently printing. You're doing the stuff in house.
Yep.
But you take the jobs you can't do,
And you farm them out.
to continue to get that business. And,
Absolutely.
And that's how you grow. That's how you can justify autos in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is the path that I've seen many, many people take. And then, when you go from 1 auto to 2, that's when you're, running all these hours and you're paying exorbitant amount of overtime. You say to yourself, I'm going to wear these people out.
Yeah.
So it's better to have, a scenario where the demand's there first. Because the people that just willy-nilly, a manual shop's different. Screen printing is the most affordable business to get into by far than lots of businesses. You go to start a restaurant, it's $500,000 bucks. By the time you drop in a fryer and table, all of that. You could probably start an auto shop for $100,000.
Oh, way less.
Well, I'm saying if you bought all the tricks and goodies and supplies and you had building stuff and you had to rewire the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, equipment wise a lot less than that. So that's why I think that so many people get into this business is because it's one of the most affordable and you can learn how to do it. I mean, it's not rocket science
No.
in principle.
Yep.
It's so that's what makes it attractive to people to get into.
Whew. Dropping knowledge.
That's what we're here to do.
What else we got? Anything else you want to go over? I would like to pan out to the whole this. So we're actually, I don't know if we've shown this view yet in a previous podcast, but we're actually in our classroom, but we have an upstairs little little upstairs to our classrooms, or our classroom. And this is where we're shooting the podcast. So I think this is the first view we've had of the whole little kind of backside of this little area. So we are in our classroom, and we have a massive classroom below us with an auto and manuals, massive PowerPoint presentation. Underneath us, where we are over top of, is our screen room, exposure room, coding, reclaim area. So it's not a weird room that we're in. We're actually in a classroom.
Yeah, and this is actually, if any of the guys, the married guys get booted out by the wife, this is kind of where they would live up here. You'd be sleeping on this little 2-seater here. It's probably happened in the past, I would guess, right?
Probably not.
Some lonely nights up here. I mean, it seems like a little bachelor.
I mean, it's not bad because where our PowerPoint is, we have a freaking massive PowerPoint screen, probably
20 foot across or more,
20, 30 foot across, 15, 20 foot high.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this would be a good spot to sit and watch a movie.
Oh yeah. This is, I like it. That's why I adopted this when I came here in December. I'm like, I'm going to make this my home up here. I mean,
you're doing videos, you're doing a lot of stuff all day, and it's quiet, and it helps out.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind.
Because once you get up into customer service and up in the warehouse, it's chaos. It's good chaos, but it's always something going on.
Well, and distraction. I would say distraction is the worst part about that.
Anyways, thanks for joining on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but we're going to get back onto it. We actually had to pause because we had to wait for some of this new equipment to get in.
Yeah.
So that was one of the issues, and Amazon was taking their time. But I think it was a 2-week turnaround to get most of his stuff organized and going. But we're back up, ready in action, and we're going to keep rolling and putting these out.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to get this up quick so that so that we can at least the handful of people that watch this, that torture themselves, can see. Well,
actually,
special.
I've had phone calls. People watch it, and some people in Indiana. I mean, there's people watching it, and they call us.
Yeah, it's the diehard fans. I love those people.
So we're it's fun though. It's regardless of who watches it, it's fun. And every single podcast, it could be stupid, but there is always some kind of
nugget.
Yes, there is always some kind of nugget within these podcasts that we drop on people.
Yep.
So thanks for joining. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace, everybody.
See ya.